Welcome back to the ONJ YouTube channel. I'm your co-host Jeremiah.
I'm your co-host Orlando.
And this we don't really have any games to talk about, but I mean there was some big news as everybody saw. So we're just here to give our takes on it. What we got? Oh,
The big gambling scandal that's happening around the NBA right now. We have none other than Terry Rozier got arrested. NBA coach Chauncey Billups got arrested.
NBA champion.
NBA champion. And Naaman Jones, coach. I don't know if he's a coach or player developer for the Lakers.
Okay.
All got arrested and apparently a huge um investigation into illegal sports gambling and betting. Apparently, this is all tied back to a few mafia families. I didn't know the mafia was still out there like that, bro. Caught me by surprise.
Uh yeah, it's a lot. You think, you coming in, let's just start with the Blazers point of view, right? You
I
know,
believe this.
season starting,
Hmm.
players, you go through I mean, I'm not sure how training camp went, but I can't off the top of my head, I don't think an NBA training camp would be something of ease. So you go through a strenuous training camp. I think you hear players say like it's probably the hardest part of the whole season, right? Like just getting ready for it. You were on vacation and then now you gotta like bump up your cardio and everything. So you do all that through training camp just to be ready for this opening season, right? You have a game, against the Timberwolves, right? Home season, so you're getting ready for the Timberwolves. You play a game, you lose, but hey, you think, all right, let's see how we can, get better. Hours after your coach gets arrested.
Imagine your
Uh,
coach giving you guys some motivational speech. Yeah, guys, we lost, but we just gotta come back stronger the next game. Don't worry, tomorrow's a new day. Let's come into training camp and let's look at this film from this game. The only film they saw was the news headline when he got arrested.
like you come into the facility tomorrow, like, where's coach? Like, what? We go to the team playing for the next game, like, uh, hey guys, coach isn't coming. Like, what? Like, whoa. Um, But yeah, it's a that's a wild situation. And then even just for Terry Rozier, right? You always hear like Twitter's a wild place. So like, they're quick to, point out things that may be happening. So, you see like the allegations of like, like you see clips of Terry Rozier, whether it's just giving the ball away or just shooting bad shots or just giving up on plays. And it's like, alleged like, hey, like Terry can't be like this. He has to be like gambling or something like that. Like this can't be real the way he's playing. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, this pops up. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just wild. It's wild to see. Yeah, just what are your thoughts? What are your
I,
thoughts on it?
I think the craziest thing was so Terry Rozier, I think, Twitter, there was the rumors going around Twitter. But Chauncey Billups came out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah,
All of a
for
sudden,
sure.
like Terry Rozier got arrested for like sports betting, specifically sports betting. I don't know if someone himself, maybe on some teams. Um, so okay, understandable. Then
Right,
a few minutes after that, Chauncey Billups gets arrested.
right.
And then as more details comes out, that man was associated with some mafia out here doing illegal betting. I heard it was involved with poker and that they had like the a table that you could see the cards or the poker chips or like I was like, bro, you're
Yeah.
you're earning millions of dollars
Hmm.
out here in the NBA. Why you gotta go gamble and then cheat on top of that? Like, what do you gain out of
Earned, earned, and earning. So you
that?
earned the millions. You earned the millions over your playing career, and then you get an opportunity to, give back. You win championships as a player, then you get an opportunity to coach championships, coach for a championship, right? So like, both sides. Not too many players, have, in the league history that, have the opportunity to win a championship as a player, but then also get an opportunity as a head coach to even like coach for a championship. And I don't, and off the top of my head, Chauncey Billups, like, do you even? I don't remember him being on a sideline, like in terms from an assistant role. Like, no, right? Like he, feel like I don't remember him being on a like a staff as an assistant coach. So you instantly get an opportunity to, lead a team, a young team. And I mean, maybe what led to that as well is, Portland maybe not being a championship contender within the next as of right now, maybe in the next 3, 4, 5 years. So, you get a chance to rebuild a team and you get that opportunity to, build them as a championship contender. And then, this news pops up. It's just tough. But what like one of the things that's kind of like that I thought about when this topic before we got on was like, you know, just the topic of gambling itself, right? Like, I mean, I don't know about yourself, but like me growing up, like it was always growing up for me, like it was always a negative stigma around gambling. You know what I mean? Growing up, right? Like it was always just stay away. Like, as a youngin, like it's always like stay away. You know what I mean? Like it could you just always hear the bad of it, right? Just nothing good about it growing up for me. I don't know if it was the same for you, but for me, like in my head, it was always a negative stigma around it, right? And then to just see just the openness of just sports betting, right? Like the openness of just being able to bet on college players, the openness to being able to bet on, NBA players, just the and just how it is. Like I know you got some dudes on your IG stories. Like you'll go through IG stories like such and such player count your days. Like you cost me X amount of dollars. Like it'll be somebody who may not watch basketball at all, but they just like they'll bet on it. Just to see, just to try to win some money. Bet the points, whatever. Bet over points. Bet a certain amount of rebounds. They will not win. Then it's like, yo, this player sucks. You know what I mean? Just because of the gambling, right? Just because the gambling piece. So the how like something so that could have had such a negative stigma, how has become so like what's say mainstream, I guess you would say. You know what I mean? How it becomes so mainstream and how it's just touched like just it's just become a big thing. You know what I mean? All over. It's pretty wild to see and to see how even and then now it's got to the point after you explained the situation like it's got to the point where the players that's making millions are even trying to get a piece of the allegedly get a piece of the action, you know what I mean, when it comes to playing on the floor or even coaching allegedly. So it's like it's wild, and it's becoming a monster for sure.
And it's just crazy how you were talking about like just everybody gambling now. Like some people have the audacity to buy front court seats just to yell at the player, bro, I need one more rebound for my parlay. Come on now. Like,
Low
bro, you
key.
just wasted $1,000 to go front row seat to yell to this man about your parlay, bro.
But low key, I see your point, but then low key, it's almost like protecting your investment, like insuring your investment. You put in a big parlay. Hey, I got an opportunity. Now it may not be the wisest, you know what I
It's
mean? It
not the
may not be
wisest, bro. Pretty
it
sure
may
they
not
did
be
that to KD and KD wasn't having it, bro.
it was I don't know if it was Devin Booker or KD or somebody. It was like, yo, I don't give a F about your parlay, bro. Like
Exactly.
let me hoop.
Exactly.
I
They
didn't
want his
tell
whole
you to bet.
investment, man. They want that front row whole investment. The player doesn't care.
Like, bro, I didn't tell you to bet. Like, what are you trying to yell at me to get a rebound for? Like, what? So,
Exactly.
yeah,
But but at the same time,
Mhm.
I remember I was watching when this whole scandal popped up, right?
Uh,
Shams kicked it off and Shams ESPN, so they're gonna have him top of the hour going on the show to talk about it. How are you gonna have the show going on? They're talking about gambling, and obviously in the bad light of it because people are going to jail because of it. And at the very bottom, they have ESPN bets. Join now, and I'm like, bro, like you're talking about gambling being bad, and you're promoting your own gambling site. But
Talk
even
about
the
it.
NBA, every commercial, every commercial that
DraftKings.
happens during an NBA game is FanDuel bets, ESPN bets, and it's like there has to come a point where you gotta stop. Like you as the
Yeah.
NBA, if you fear that players are tampering with the game for betting, why do you keep advertising it so heavily? Because they didn't used to do that.
But I guess from maybe from their point of view, the gambling commercial isn't bad, right? Because what's always at the end? They'll sell the gambling. Hey, such and such. Hey, get $5 free bets. What's always at the end of the commercial? In low tone. If you have a problem with gambling, just call Gamblers Anonymous 1-800 gambling. You gonna sell me this gambling? It's like that's like gaslighting. That's low key like ultimate. That's like ultimate gaslighting. Like you're like you're selling something bad. Well, yeah, I guess it can get bad. I mean, it can get bad. Look, allegedly, you got two potential millionaires allegedly like their jobs could be on the line just because of it, right? So you got something that could lead to a bad road. You're gonna have a commercial about it, trying to sell it, trying to get more people to buy into it. And then at the end, it's like, oh, if you have a problem, hey, call this number 1-800 again. Like what? Like the message is always already got across by the time you throw that Gamblers Anonymous number out there. So it's like, yeah, it's
Chauncey Chauncey Billups ain't calling that number when he's associated with the mafia at this point, bro. Like,
yeah. I and then like it's like and I love it's kind of like funny with the whole Gilbert Arenas because like he had a situation like that as well. But then I mean he seems like out and then he's kind of like what do you think the likelihood of like him actually like ratting out like current NBA players? Like you think that's a is that a thing? But he's buying into it though. Like in one of his podcasts, like he had a little paper bag like and just wrote on it informant lunch on it as if he was like talking to the FBI. He's like, here's the meal that they gave me to rat out Chauncey Billups and Terry
bro,
Rozier.
the memes on Twitter were going crazy because they would like use AI to craft up an image of like him being interrogated, and then there's just a whole bunch of food in front of him and be like, oh, moments before they caught Chauncey Billups.
Oh man, but yeah, it could get bad though. I think it could definitely get bad. And I mean, I guess this is just a wake up call, right? Like I mean, I don't know why you would do it. You would I guess you would have to ask the players, like why you would risk your career to like make a little extra money, but this is just I guess it's just a wake up call to other players that could think about doing this and like think about the extra amount of dollars they could get. I mean, someone's always watching. That's literally it. Somebody's always watching, especially the FBI. If they let you coach a whole game and then pick you up right after your game, like I'm sure. Like I mean, I don't know what Chauncey Billups was thinking, but I mean to have a like to think that you might get arrested. I'm sure that was not on his mind after that loss. Like I might get arrested, and not be able to potentially coach the rest of the season or even the rest or ever again, right? So I mean, yeah, it's tough. But now I have a
And
look. Oh, no, go ahead.
a thing important to think about is it kind of shows that no player is above anything.
For sure.
Because maybe had Chauncey Billups who like Jonte Porter got caught earlier on with the gambling. Maybe there'll be some players that be like, oh, he's a lower of the bench player, so they're gonna go with him first. But I'm such a higher player that they probably wouldn't come to me. But now they're coming for everybody at this point.
Right. Yeah, it's tough, man. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Now, something that kind of caught my eye was, right? So you remember, I don't know, it was a couple episodes back, maybe last season, where we were talking about the Memphis coach and how I was telling you um about like how he had such a great run with his team in Paris, right? Like why would you leave such a successful running team and you're on having a great streak in the Euro League to where like you leave that for a Memphis assistant job? And then what happens? Taylor Jenkins gets fired, and then he's promoted to head coach, essentially, right? So so after he leaves Harris hires Tiago Splitter, right? So they hired Tiago Splitter. They had a solid season, right? And what happens? Splitter gets the opportunity, assistant coach, with the Portland Trailblazers, right? Now, I mean, they had a solid season. Yeah, so I'd say, I mean, yeah, they did pretty good. So, Splitter leaves Paris, goes to Portland. Now, now Splitter's essentially a head coach. Now, I mean, he's an interim head coach, but he's essentially a head coach. I don't know what's going. I mean, I don't, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if anything's going on between Paris and the NBA in terms of like if there's a pathway or there's like a path line to or a bridge line to between the two organizations. But I mean, that's two head coaches essentially promoted to head coaches from either firing or I mean I guess arrest with Tiago Splitter. Like there's been two head coaches that's essentially been, promoted to head two assistant coaches essentially promoted to head coaches for their NBA team. So I don't know if that's something to look out for. um, their current coach is Francisco Turbellini or something like that. Francesco Tabellini. So if he becomes a head coach next year in the league, that may be something to look out for. Just
Hey
to
man,
just to,
release the NBA files.
like if he becomes an assistant and then something happens to that his team's head coach and he becomes a head coach, that'd just be wild. So that'll be like three back to back essentially for that team. So I mean I don't know, but yeah, that might be something to just I don't know, just something to throw out there if you like conspiracy theories or
Big
like stuff
brain.
like that. Nah, for sure. But yeah, this is serious business. Do you think? I mean, you don't want to. I don't even want to throw this out there. I don't know if I should ask, but like, I mean, it's kind of obvious to ask though. Like, are there other? I hope not. I really hope not. I'll just throw that out there first. I hope not. But do you
There are
think?
other people gambling, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Like, will
Yeah,
there be? I hope. I really hope not. But I mean, we're on the topic now, so we got to talk about it. Like, do you think there are potential other players that could get caught allegedly if they're if they are doing the do?
I think so. We Jonte Porter, he was the first one. And then we thought, people are gonna use that as an example not to gamble. And now we're here in this situation. So like I was mentioning earlier, maybe there's still stars out there who think they're bigger than this whole situation and will continue to do it. And then maybe further down the line they'll end up getting caught just like this.
Yeah, because how do you think an NBA owner may feel, right? Like you're on my payroll, I'm paying you millions of dollars. You know what I mean? Now, yes, you are providing a service for that, but for that service, for you to put a ball in a circle, I'm giving you millions of dollars. And you trying to get greedy allegedly and get some more and trying to take advantage of the like you said, no one's bigger than the program, like taking advantage of the program. So yeah, I mean I think hopefully these are the last and nobody else is doing it and everybody else is just playing basketball and getting their paychecks and getting their endorsement deals and feeding their families and setting up their future generations. Hopefully that's it and there's no more arrest and no more nobody everybody else is clean, but I don't know. I mean, after, like you just said, after Jonte, after I mean, a coach and a player, back to back, and a assistant coach as well, David Jones. Yeah, hopefully these are the last that we hear of these type of situations, and we could just focus on basketball. Yeah.
I agree.
All right, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. You got anything else?
Hashtag release the NBA files. Hashtag
It's
call the
the
gambling
NBA
hotline.
files. Whoa.
If you need help, call the NBA hotline. We do not promote gambling.
Oh yeah, for sure. That needs to be pinned. Yeah, no gambling. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Comment anything you feel on the thoughts of the situation, and like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you in the next vid.
We out.
We out.